Have you ever heard of the Lost City of Atlantis? It's like a fascinating puzzle that people have been trying to solve for a long time. Atlantis is this mysterious place that's been the talk of many stories and discussions. Legend has it that it was this super advanced city that ended up disappearing under the ocean near the Pillars of Hercules, which is thought to be around the Strait of Gibraltar. In this video, we will tell you the history of the Lost City of Atlantis, whether it was a myth or reality. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates. Let's dive into this intriguing tale and uncover the mysteries of Atlantis together. The origin story of the Lost City. The myth of Atlantis has deep roots in history. According to the tale, approximately 9,000 years before Plato's time, there existed a remarkable civilization comprised of beings that were part human and part god. These inhabitants inhabited a group of islands situated in the Atlantic Ocean. This extraordinary civilization possessed abundant natural resources, a formidable navy, and immense wealth, making it unmatched in power. Spread across a vast array of islands, the Atlanteans enjoyed a utopian existence. However, there was one critical flaw: their prosperity led them to neglect the gods. As a result, they became immoral, greedy, and vain. In their hubris, they decided to launch an attack on the cities of Europe and Asia. Despite their overwhelming power, the Atlanteans faced resistance when they targeted Athens. Despite its smaller size, Athens successfully repelled the Atlantean attack and liberated other peoples in Europe and North Africa. The gods, angered by the Atlanteans' arrogance, decided to punish them. Earthquakes and fires were unleashed, leading to the destruction of Atlantis. In a single catastrophic night and day, Atlantis sank beneath the water, along with the heroic Athenian warriors who opposed them. Following this event, the ocean area where Atlantis once stood was said to be impassable due to the collapse of the Atlanteans' fallen kingdom. Besides some remnants of rubble, the once mighty civilization vanished without a trace. At first glance, this narrative appears heavily infused with myth, particularly the concept of a divine earthquake. Nevertheless, throughout history, numerous individuals have believed in the story of Atlantis, despite its seemingly fantastical elements. Plato's allegory of Atlantis. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, penned the tale of Atlantis not as a historical account, but as a thoughtful experiment. Being more of a philosopher than a historian, Plato used the narrative to engage in a fictional dialogue involving Socrates. In this imagined conversation, Socrates challenges those around him to envision a city-state that could serve as a benchmark against Athens, entering into the realm of typical intercity competitions. Within this dialogue, Plato introduces three fictional city-states, including the renowned Atlantis, each meant for comparison with the Athens of his time. The crucial clue signaling the fictitious nature of Atlantis lies in the storyteller, Critias, describing events over 9,000 years prior, a time predating the existence of Athens itself. The narrative's origin traces back to Critias, who heard it from Solon, a Greek exposed to the story while in Egypt. Plato, like a storyteller in a game of telephone, recounted Critias's account. But why did Plato incorporate this mythical story into his dialogues? The answer lies in Plato's use of the allegory of Atlantis to caution Athenians against succumbing to hubris. Rather than narrating a forgotten historical event, Plato employed a fictional civilization to exemplify the perils of national arrogance. While Plato's contemporaries likely grasped the allegorical nature of the narrative, modern readers misinterpreted it, transforming Plato's philosophical experiment into an enduring historical mystery. The many tales of Atlantis, from Plato to Donnelly. Since Plato's initial accounts of Atlantis, the legendary Lost City has undergone a series of transformations as different authors added their imaginative touch to the narrative. Over time, these stories evolved, becoming increasingly fanciful with each new rendition. In the 19th century, Jules Verne, the renowned author, took Atlantis into the realm of fiction. In his work 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Captain Nemo explores the sunken city. Following Verne's portrayal, Atlantis found its way into numerous movies and TV shows, captivating audiences worldwide. Despite its fictional nature, this wasn't the end of Atlantis for some enthusiasts. Ignatius Donnelly, a prominent U.S. politician and writer, believed in the historical reality of Atlantis. According to Donnelly, this ancient civilization played a pivotal role in humanity's technological achievements. In his book, Atlantis, The Antediluvian World, he put forth a compelling yet far-fetched narrative. Donnelly proposed that some Atlanteans survived divine punishment and migrated to Europe, Africa, and the Americas. In his version of events, Atlantis served as a sort of Garden of Eden, from which other great civilizations emerge. The survivors, according to Donnelly, became the rulers of distant societies after the catastrophic flood that engulfed Atlantis. To support his theories, Donnelly drew connections between Atlantis and various cultures. He pointed to the sun worship in both Egypt and Peru, suggesting a shared heritage. The biblical flood story was invoked as evidence of Atlantis' demise, while Donnelly even speculated that Bronze Age tools originated from this mythical civilization. Despite the fantastical nature of his claims, Donnelly's ideas added a layer of complexity to the enduring mystery of Atlantis. Atlantis in Nazi philosophy. It wasn't only Americans who embraced the notion of a primordial race as the source of all others. The Nazis, infamous for their fixation on race and perceived superiority, delved into a peculiar belief system. Among them was Heinrich Himmler, the influential leader of the SS and Gestapo, who ardently believed that Atlantis served as the ancestral homeland of the Aryan race. The roots of this belief can be traced back to Hermann Wirth, a proponent of theories shared by Ignatius Donnelly. Much like Donnelly, Wirth contended that Atlanteans, seeking refuge from their sinking continent, migrated to Tibet in their quest to distance themselves from the sea. Taking these ideas seriously, Himmler, in 1938, dispatched a Nazi expedition comprising scientists to Tibet. Their mission was to measure the facial features of the local populace. The objective was to ascertain if these individuals were direct descendants of the Atlanteans. Upon analyzing their findings, the Nazi scientists concluded that indeed, the Atlanteans had reached Tibet, leaving a lasting impact on the local population. This revelation troubled Himmler, as it suggested a significant level of racial intermingling over the centuries. This unsettling realization fueled Himmler's determination to intensify his malevolent efforts aimed at the creation of a racially pure society, reflecting the disturbing depths of Nazi ideology. Searching for the Lost City of Atlantis. The search for Atlantis and its supposed descendants has gone on longer than the Nazi era. Explorations have taken place in many places, such as Bolivia, Spain, and Antarctica. However, some researchers say that the real Atlantis that Plato made up was based on the ancient Minoan society. The Minoans, like the Atlanteans, had a strong navy and lived on many islands in the Aegean. Even though the Minoans lived 900 years before Plato, a disaster struck them when an earthquake hit Santorini in 1611 to 1538 BC and destroyed most of their ships. The Minoan society did not end because of a volcano erupting, as many people think. Instead, it was mostly because of an economic collapse in the 15th century AD. Could Plato have connected these real-life events when he wrote the story of Atlantis? The Aegean Sea's geology, which is formed by the African tectonic plate moving under the European one, has caused many earthquakes. There is proof that the Atlanteans were related to the Minoans, which makes other theories about them less likely to be true. For people who are sure they believe in Atlantis, past facts that don't fit may not change their minds. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and share the video and follow us for more amazing videos. Thank you.